All right, good afternoon. Today we are talking about multiplying by multiples of 10. Yesterday we just multiplied by 10, 100, 1,000, 10,000, 100,000, 1,000,000. Today we're going to take the next step in that, actually look at what happens when we multiply by numbers ending in 0 that don't start with a 1. So for example, you can see 4,000, 4,000, 600, 40, 20. So let's go through the steps that we need to know to do this. So our first one is 4 times 4,000. The same as yesterday, the first thing we do is the zeros that are at the end of the numbers, we ignore them. So for example, in 4 times 4,000, we have 1, 2, 3 zeros at the end. We're going to ignore those zeros just like yesterday, and we're just going to do, now instead of 4 times 1 like yesterday, just 4 times 4. And so 4 times 4, we know that's 16. And that exact same as yesterday, we just bring those zeros to the end. So we had 1, 2, 3 zeros. We just put those right at the end of our number. So it would be 16,000, or 16 with 3 zeros. Alright, now our next one below is even a little more difficult. It's the same thing with the zeros, but you'll notice in this one there's still 4,000. We have the 3 zeros here. But we also have a 0 in the other number at the end. When you have one like this, you just still ignore all the zeros. You just ignore all the zeros that are in both numbers. So we're actually going to do the exact same thing as the last one. 4 times 4 again. 4 times 4. And we know 4 times 4 is still 16. Now instead of on the last one, we just brought these 3 zeros. On this one, we're going to bring those 3 zeros plus the 1 0 over here. We're going to bring all of those to the end of our answer. So 3 zeros plus 1 zeros, we're just going to add 4 zeros to the end of our answer. So I just put 4 zeros there. 1, 2, 3, 4. So 40 times 4,000 is 160,000. So you see the number just gets 1 0 bigger because it had 1 bigger 0 than the problem above. It's actually not as hard as it looks. Let's try our last one here. On this one, I go 600 times 20. I'm going to ignore all my zeros at the end again and just go, well, 6 times 2. And we know 6 times 2 is 12. And then how many zeros will I put on the end? Well, I have to count both numbers now. So 1, 2, 3. I'll bring all of those zeros to the end of my answer. So 3 zeros at the end. 1, 2, 3. Okay, the answer is 12,000. I'm going to put 3 up on the screen for you to try now. But you can see this is just one step further, really, than what we did yesterday. And hopefully you're doing okay with it. Okay, so there are 3 problems on the screen now. Go ahead and pause the video. Write them in your notebook. And unpause to see if you got them correct. Do that now. Okay, let's look at number 1. See how you did. We should have first started with 7 times 4. 7 times 4 is 28. Then I should have added 1, 2, 3 zeros to the end for 28,000. On the second one, you should have started with 2 times 8. 2 times 8 is 16. And we need to add 1, 2, 3, 4 zeros at the end for 160,000. Our last one is 500 times 600. You would have done 5 times 6 is 30. Now this is tricky because even though there's already a 0 here, we still have to add 1, 2, 3, 4 zeros after that 0. We can't count that 0. So we add our 4 zeros. 1, 2, 3, 4. You should have gotten 300,000. Alright, hopefully you're doing okay with that, and we'll see you in class tomorrow. Bye-bye.